Good frosty morning, April 7th, Friday. Not just any Friday. Today's a Good Friday. That's right. Happy Good Friday. Heading into Easter weekend. It's Masters Week. Weather's pretty cold this morning, but the next 10 days forecast looks great. So everything's on the up and up. This frost delay shouldn't last too long, maybe 30 minutes, no longer than an hour. It's kind of patchy, but definitely I'm here at 17, and that's pretty good frost there. So another good week here with the Bogey maintenance team. I'll start off with the apology that we got aggressive and went ahead and aerated greens again Monday. That's not a April Fool's joke. We did a very small tine and pulled a very small hole, and just really creating a great subsurface for root growth in the spring. And root growth is the name of the game for survival in the summertime. So the weather was perfect, absolutely perfect this Monday. So we took advantage of that, and we did that entire process in a 9-hour day. So it was, not very intense, but it did make the greens a little softer. But we've been rolling through the week. I think they firmed up pretty good again, and the holes were, a 1/4 inch. So they're pretty small. And we already had holes that were not healed from the previous aerification, so we're not really dragging on the process. I think the holes would have been filled all the way probably sometime next week, and I think we're still on pace for that. So apologize for anyone that had guessed out or was planning on having a really exciting match or a round. Greens, I think, are still good. They're just not great. But it's April, first week of April. Usually we'd be punching greens for the very first time right now. So we're still in really good shape. Next week we're going to make another fertilizer app on them, which will seal the deal. And I think greens will get healed up next week, and we'll be in really good shape moving forward, ready for some bogey greens. So with aerification Monday, then we started mowing rough. So all the rough's been mowed. We started string trimming yesterday, so we're almost up and running at full capacity. We raking bunkers again today. We'll rake them in over the weekend. Mowing greens later this morning. We need to get a dry cut on them. A wet cut with the sand that's on them is an issue for us, so we'll have to wait a little bit later in the morning to get a dry cut on greens. Finished up mulch. We have a few beds that we ran out of mulch, I guess is the way to put it. We finished up the majority of the course. We've got a few beds that need some mulch, so we'll have to get a little bit more in. We're currently prepping ball washer posts, so we can paint those later today, and then we're going to reassemble everything there. So ball washer posts will be painted. Our ball washers came back from the powder coaters. They look great. We went with black instead of the green. I think it looks good. So those will go back out today. So apologize for anyone who's dirty balls and haven't been able to clean them. So accessories going out. Had some benches donated last week that I didn't mention, that I forgot to mention, but some beautiful benches out on 1 tee. That would be the red tee and the blue tee. So 2 benches on 1 tee complex and 1 bench on number 10. These things are beauties. Really easy for us to move around, and won't be much maintenance for us. But I think, on number 1 and number 10, they're great locations for benches. We may or may not add more benches in the future. We thought number 1 tee and 10 tee were definitely really good spots for benches, so we had those implemented. Getting long already, 5 minutes, so Usually I lose viewers after like 45 seconds. So thanks for hanging in there if you made it this far. More in store for next week, but the golf course is greening up, and we're still a little ways away from getting off paths. So don't get excited just yet. Usually right around golf kickoff is when we'll get off paths. But course is greening up. Things are looking up. We'll talk to you next week. Have a great weekend, Easter weekend, and Masters. So talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.